Hey YouTube, Nick here. Today I wanted to talk to you guys about AT&T's new service called DirecTV NOW. A few years ago, AT&T purchased DirecTV NOW or DirecTV, and recently they teamed up together and released a solution for cable cord cutters such as myself called DirecTV NOW. DirecTV NOW is a service that lets you stream different cable channels over the internet. It's kind of comparable to services such as PlayStation View or Sling TV. Launching 6 weeks ago, DirecTV NOW has had a lot of criticism online, especially from people on Twitter. I was an early adopter of this, and I've watched a lot of the drama unfold on various social media outlets, and myself, I've been really pleased with the quality of the service that I've received, and it's mildly disheartening to see so many people whine about it on the internet, because it's really great value for your money, and I really think that if you're looking for a cable cutting solution, I think this is a great place to look. First and foremost, I want to address some complaints that I think are absolutely ridiculous, and then I would like to address some common complaints that I've seen that are a little more understandable, and maybe I have been fortunate not to have encountered those in my setup. Not only have I been very satisfied with the quality of the service, that I've also been very satisfied with the quality, with the streaming quality, and that's something else I'd really like to talk about. Another note is that I did not use this service to replace a previous cable subscription. Prior to this, I was relying on Netflix and Amazon Prime Video for my two major sources of content. One of the great things about this service, and it's unfortunately not in existence anymore, is they had a launch promotion where you could get one of their higher end packages for $35 a month. I think one of the reasons why this is such a great deal, however, is that you can add on either Cinemax or HBO or both for $5 a month. So when I signed up, I have the Go Big package, and that costs $35 a month. And then in addition to that, I also elected to pay for the HBO add-on service, which allows you to use the HBO Go app on the Apple TV, and that costs only an additional $5 a month. I think when you compare the price of the HBO, that's one of the reasons why this is such a great deal. I might be less inclined to recommend this service if you are not planning on purchasing HBO in addition to the DirecTV NOW streaming package. If you go on the HBO website, you can purchase HBO Now through them, but that starts at $15 a month. So I think when you look at the value that you get from having all these live cable channels in addition to the HBO access, I think that is priced really freaking well. Another reason why I like this is it's $40 a month, and that includes the taxes. So there's no contract, there's no penalties if you cancel, and you could not pay for it for a month and then sign up at a later date, and you won't be penalized for that. And I think that's I think when you give consumers that kind of flexibility, I think that really says a lot about your product, and I think that you get a better customer experience when you're not locked down by 2-year agreements or whatever. But I digress. When I signed up for this service, one of the things that was really great about it is that they bundled in a Apple TV, the latest edition, and you got the Apple TV if you just prepaid for 3 months of the service. So I was billed $120 with no tax, and I got a free Apple TV. I think that, in addition to all the service, I think that's a really great deal. And I'm not sure the specifics on whether or not they're offering a Apple TV included in their included as that sign-up offer anymore, but if they are, I think that you should consider buying that like right now. They also offered, if you prepaid for 1 month, you got a free Amazon Fire Stick. However, I think that you're probably better off using the Apple TV as opposed to the Fire Stick, because I think that my guess is that AT&T and Apple have a certain special type of relationship, and I think that DirecTV Now and DirecTV is trying to make the service work best with the Apple TV. So I think one of the reasons why I've had such a good experience with this is because I've been using the Apple TV as opposed to a Chromecast or a Fire Stick. Currently, you are not able to use this service on Roku or Android TV, but AT&T says that that capability is coming sometime in the near future. Let me pull up the app and I will kind of show you what it's kind of like. Before I show you the service, I'd like to point out that I am using the Apple TV over my home Wi-Fi network. I don't have my Apple TV plugged in to the router via an Ethernet cord. I do have a 5 gigahertz router, but I was still really impressed on how well the service worked, especially seeming as how it wasn't plugged in. So I think that that's really nice to point out. So let me show you this DirecTV Now app. You pull it up, and it loads really quick. Very little buffering for me when I load it. Easily I can pull up a guide, scroll up and down, and pick anything that I want to watch. Some people have complained about the interface on the guide, and I don't understand why. I think it looks really nice, and I think it's pretty easy to use. So I can pretty easily, scroll and just pick out anything I want to watch, and you click it, and then it loads just like you would expect it to if you actually had a cable service or a satellite on top of your house. Now, some of the things people have complained about. Right now, there's no DVR functionality. Well, when you signed up, you knew that there wasn't any DVR functionality. So I don't know how you can complain about a service that isn't offering features that you know it didn't offer. So supposedly they're going to be offering it sometime early in 2017, but we'll see. And like I said, I didn't sign up to have DVR. I signed up to have live TV, and you can see I have live TV. So I don't know why people are complaining about that. Another thing people have had some issues with that they're complaining about is that you don't pick up local channels unless you're in select markets. I don't understand why people are upset about that. If you want to have local channels, just go buy a cheap antenna and plug it into your TV, and then you have local channels. It's pretty simple. So I don't know why that's something to be upset about. It seems like a really easy, cheap solution. I don't understand that, but people are complaining about it. So I think if you read other reviews, keep that in mind. Keep that in mind if they talk about that. It's really easy to get local channels, even if you're not getting them through the service right now. One thing I can do is I can pause live TV, and then I can play live TV. So that's kind of cool. I didn't really realize I was going to have that feature when I purchased this, but I do, and it works. One area that I have run into moderate issues is DirecTV is offering some video on demand through the service, and for the life of me, it was really hard to find how to get to it. So if you have this and don't know how to get to it, you actually just like scroll up on your Apple remote, and you get this little menu. But then you have access to watch all these movies, and I've had really good luck watching them. I did watch the latest season of Walking Dead, however, and I ran into some fairly mild to serious buffering issues when I was about 45 minutes into each episode. Now, people are freaking out on the internet about this. I'm not. Why? Because I paid to have this service for live TV. And the live TV is working well, and they are working on improving the video on demand. And I'm not worried that they're not going to have any problems getting the kinks worked out. There are sometimes some buffering issues on the live shows, but if there are, you just change the channel and come back. And generally, you're not. I personally don't have hardly any issues at all. So for the price I'm paying to be a very early adopter of this service, I don't have any, I can't complain about there being a few bugs. But I'll show you that this does work. We'll play Steven Spielberg Super 8. You just click it, and you hit watch now. And then it loads, and then it plays just like you're watching it on Netflix. One complaint I do have with this, which isn't a huge deal, is that you are watching these on-demand movies like through an FX or through a channel that it was played on the TV. So you are going to have some commercials. I tried to watch Wolf of Wall Street on this, and it was through FX. And one fun thing about Wolf of Wall Street is that it's kind of a raunchy movie, but it adds a lot to the story. So they do kind of take out some of the raunchiness. And I'm kind of a purist, and I want to see the movie the way that the director intended it. So you aren't necessarily going to get the full movie if you're watching an R-rated movie. But that's really not a big deal, but it is something I wanted to point out. Another thing I wanted to point out, when you are in the video on demand stuff, you are going to get 5.1 surround sound. When you are not in the on-demand stuff, you're only going to get stereo. I felt like that was slightly ambiguous in the advertising and the marketing. Again, I'm not upset about that, but I did speak to the representative to try and figure out why I wasn't getting surround sound on my thing. I will complain about the Apple TV doesn't bit stream, so you're going to get PCM to your receiver, but it's not. But again, these are really mild issues for what you're getting. It will let you fast forward the movie, so you actually can fast forward through the commercials. But as you can see, it works really well. I don't understand why so many people are complaining about it. Another thing, I'm running the Apple TV through a receiver. Like I said, when I do get the surround sound, it sounds great. The picture quality is phenomenal. You're getting full 1080p. It's about as good of a picture as you could ask for. I have a family member that just bought a new TV, an LG OLED, and he has Dish Network, and I was helping him set his TV up, and I noticed his dish box is only giving him 1080i. You know, you're going to get 1080p through this thing. You're getting a really good picture. Some people online have complained about some error screens and issues like that. I've had a few error screens when watching, but I have not had enough to make me dislike this service at all. And I think I just got a new update for the app, and I've had even less issues with it the past week or so than I've had before. So it's continuously improving. So if you guys have any questions about this, I can answer questions kind of from a home theater enthusiast perspective. But if you have any questions, don't be afraid to leave a comment below. Subscribe if you like these kind of videos. I would like to make more of them. And I would totally recommend going out and purchasing DirecTV Now if you're looking for a cord cutting solution.